Since 1947, the World Affairs Council has become the preeminent global stage for world leaders and the public to inform, engage, and debate the most important issues of our time. It's your world. Get to know it.
I think the most urgent problem right now is social change and political change in the Arab world. That's number one on my agenda. That keeps us busy really every day. We are on the phone or at the State Department or at the Pentagon or at the NSC to talk about that. Number two on my list is nuclear proliferation and nuclear disarmament and disarmament in general. Number three is climate change and energy security. Number four is the world economic crisis and also the financial crisis which caused it. And the others are failing states. We always underestimated until 9/11 that failing states could be a problem also for us. We all thought if a state was failing, so what? It's their problem. That is not true, as we learned in Afghanistan and as we learn in other places around the world, that if a country is rented out to terrorists or to drug lords or to organized crime or to just criminals or cigarette smugglers, usually the effects hit us also. We observe a new phenomenon. You have, for the first time in this century, the fact that there is political consciousness of the masses all over the world. And that is something fairly new. That did not really exist in the 19th or 20th century. You had usually foreign policy being dealt with by some kind of elites. And you now have suddenly a consciousness of and mass movements all over the world. It has to do with the internet. It has to do with the fact that more and more people are educated, and they see, of course, that in other parts of the world, people live differently. And that is also behind the amazing revolution which you see in the Arab world, first in Tunisia, then in Egypt, nowadays in Libya, and I think the list could be much longer and can be extended every day. The United States and Europe and Germany, we do have a role in helping those who want to do a revolution, make it sustainable, and make it last. And therefore, we need to get together. Of course, the West has to do this united. Only if the United States and Europe really sing from the same sheet do we have a chance to successfully influence that. So what we really can do with all these countries, for instance Egypt, but also Tunisia, also all the other countries, is to help them to strengthen civil society. Because the interesting thing is that those who took to the streets, they are not well-organized Muslim brothers or others. They are young people, usually more educated than the West, young people who believe that it's time to get rid of people they never elected. And what we can do to help them is to help strengthen civil society, because in many of those countries it's not very strong, it barely exists. What we also can do is help to make their judiciary even more independent.